I sent you the link, Tracy.
All right. All right, can you do it?
We're good to go?
Give me 1 minute.
No.
Just got it. I'm not that good, girl. Should I say the computer's not that good? Let me just check it, make sure it's working. You're good to go?
Thank you.
You are.
Olivia, when you're going to try Control B?
I don't know.
What is that?
Well, you can broadcast into the breakout room.
Oh, okay.
That's what this is. Mhm.
Dr. Elliott, you are good to start.
What's that?
You
Are
are
we
live,
ready?
Doctor. Yes. You are
We're
live.
ready to start the meeting, or?
Yes, you're live. I don't know where Dr. Collada dropped. He must
I
have dropped.
know, that's what I was waiting for. Is he with us?
No, it looks like he did drop off. I'll check. Oh, here he is. He's coming back in.
Okay. You're with us, Dr. Collada?
Yes, for some reason, I thought your sister got mad at me and pushed me out when I asked to share a screen. So I jumped back in, but I guess I must have pressed the wrong button.
No, sir, I would never do that. And we also have to swear in. We have to do the oath.
Dr.
of
Johnson?
affirmation.
Yes. So it's Riche. Riche is my last name.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was your last name?
Riche, R-I-C-H-E.
Thank you.
Well, then we probably ought to change that ID there to make sure we get it right. Give me a second. I'll do that for you.
So Dr. Riche, when I give you the oath, would you prefer to swear or affirm?
It doesn't matter. Swearing, you swear to God, right? So
Right. Do you want to swear to God or do you want to just
Yes,
affirm?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. I mean, some people it really truly matters, and I always respect that. So yeah. All right. Do you want to raise your right hand and just repeat
Yes,
after
I
me? Okay. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution of laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all of the duties incumbent on me
all of the duties incumbent on me
as a member of the Podiatry Advisory Committee,
as a member of the Podiatry Advisory Committee,
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And you're in. Congratulations. Thank you so much. If you'll sign that and return it to us, we surely will appreciate it.
Okay. And so I sign the top and then the public section.
Acknowledgement that you got the ethics. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. And you really want my home address? Or do you want to just,
If you want to put your business address, you can. They ask for it. You don't have to put it, but
okay. All right.
it doesn't go anywhere except to the Secretary of State.
Okay. They probably already know where I live, right?
Exactly. If you're registered to vote, I think they already know you.
All right.
I'll leave.
I'll send that text or emailed in.
All right, are we ready to call the meeting?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
All right, so this is our Podiatry Advisory Committee. And I guess the first thing we need to do is review our, approve our minutes from our last meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at those minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we have an
Motion to approve.
approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Great. All right, so, the H&P mandate, we had started talking about that last time, and I thought we
Forgive
were,
me, you actually do have to just call for a vote, just a voice vote, all in favor, any opposed.
oh, okay, I'm sorry, of the last meeting? Of
Of
the
the
last minute?
minutes, of the minutes, yes.
Of the minutes? Okay,
Yeah, to
all in-
resolve the motion, yeah.
okay, all in favor to approve the minutes from our last meeting? Any opposed? No. Okay, so, those are approved. Okay, so I guess I thought, right, the H&P mandate, we were done with that. I thought our next discussion was going to be regarding the in-office procedures that we were still discussing from the last.
And that's fine. What I have been able to determine was the person that posed the question to me and to nobody else, I'm not sure anybody else talked to this person, was that he was told by his now employer that they wanted all of those amputations of feet to be done in the hospital. And I explained to him that really and truly, the board doesn't get in privileges. You have a license to practice podiatry based on the 1 or 3 classes that you are, but that if the employer wants you to do it in the hospital, that's your decision to continue to work for him or change. It's not anything that board can get involved in. But again, I'm not sure where you want to go with this. So
Wait,
again, if you're doing office-based surgery,
Mhm,
we're fine provided you follow the office-based surgery rules, okay?
right,
And if you're not doing office-based surgery or your employer says, I want you to do this procedure in the hospital, well, that's between you and the employer. That's a contractual business that we stay out of at the board.
so I never knew what the real question was there. I didn't know if there was just a clarification that you wanted from the advisory panel or.
Well, again, when I talked to the person that I talked to, and I'm not sure if that's the same one that Billy talked to, but the person that I talked to wanted to know, does he have to do them in the hospital? I said, why are you doing it in the hospital? He said, because that's where my employer wants to do it. I said, well, that's an issue of contractual arrangement and nothing to do with the board.
Sure.
And so, again, if y'all are doing office-based surgery, y'all just need to be able to follow the safetiness of the office-based surgery rules. That's
Sure.
all we care about.
Yeah, I got you from the patient standpoint. And those are the rules that you attach to this.
Yeah.
Right, they're at the end of this agenda.
Right.
So most of the podiatry procedures in the office are done under local. And like it said, if you took one oral, whether it's an analgesic or whatever it may be, then it all qualifies. So
Right.
yeah, I don't think we as a advisory committee are arguing any of that or questioning that. Does anyone have a question about that in office surgeries?
No.
Okay, do you feel like that person got the answer that he needed, Dr.
I
Collada?
think he did, but again,
Okay.
and like I said, if the hospital wants clarification on it, they can write to us and we can clarify it. But again, I'm not really sure what else he wanted to get. So I'm sure it'll come back if they have something they want to ask.
Okay. All right, well then I guess we'll just let that go there. And we can always refer him to that, the rules for
Right.
in-office procedures. Okay. Let's see, is this is today's agenda? No, this is last agenda, correct?
Well, let's go to today's agenda.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, so the old, on the feet amputation, did you get that? The LCMC person told me he sent you an email, Dr. Collada.
And that's the person I talked to, and I explained to him that, you know, LCMC can make you do anything that they want you to do if you work for them.
Oh, so this is what you're referring to. I misunderstood you. I'm sorry.
I mean, if they wanted, again, it sounds like this particular gentleman works for LCMC.
No. So I think you misunderstood. I don't have his, the email, but no, so that was regarding his question. Do you have that in front of you by chance? And maybe you could.
No, I don't, because
No.
again, that's why I called and talked to him. And it was my impression from talking to him that it was what LCMC wanted him to do as an employee.
He's not employed. He's a private practice physician, and he is, on the contrary, any person that needs a procedure, it has to do with outpatient surgeries versus inpatient. That's not so much office procedures. In other words, the hospital in questions if every single amputation has to be done on an inpatient. Does that patient have to be admitted and go through an inpatient process, which for the hospital apparently is a burden? I'm assuming a financial burden or resource burden, or can this toe amputation be done in an outpatient facility so the doctor can get all of the necessary workup done on his own? That was the question.
Okay, well, see, I understood it to be foot, not toe.
Well, he didn't even specify foot or toe. I don't think the thing, I guess, when they confronted the podiatrist answer was all amputations must be done in a hospital, and that's accepted medical practice.
Okay.
That's what I have.
But let me do this. Let me go back
Okay.
and contact this is why I often like to talk to them and get a clarification. That's why I thought we were clarified. But
Okay,
I will get back to this person and I will dig up the old email and make sure we talk to him again and straighten it out, because, and again, I think we don't care where it's done. Okay. And certainly he can do it in again, it's just a matter of if this is a category 1, who doesn't have conservative privileges or conservative surgery privileges, then somebody else would have to do their history and physical for him. And that may be part of why the hospital wants to do it. But this is my understanding, is that he didn't want to do them in the hospital. He wanted to do them in his office. And I said, you know, we don't care as long as you do office-based surgery rules. So I will straighten it out and report back to you. I'll send you an email as soon as I talk to him. I'll try and track him down in the next 48 hours and get back to you.
okay.
I'm gonna make myself a note so that I don't lose this.
Yeah, so the hospital feels like the patient is being unnecessarily admitted, sent to the emergency room or whatever.
Wait. Why would, I'm sorry. Why would they be going to the emergency room for an elective procedure?
Well,
That
because-
discussion never came up. That's, I'm a little bit
Mhm.
fuzzy on that.
Yeah, so you need to talk to that doctor about it. Apparently, that's what I'm saying. The patient's in the office and the doctor wants to do a procedure and the emergency room is very confused and and then the answer that the doctor gave the hospital is that all amputations must be done on an inpatient in a hospital and cannot be done as an outpatient elective. And the hospital is just getting clarification from the state board and wants to know if all amputations must be done on an inpatient or can they be done in an outpatient setting that's with the hospital. That's really his question.
Okay, his question being who? The doctor, podiatrist, or the
No.
hospital administrator?
The hospital administrator
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna make sure I
contacted
can-
me and asked me that. And so I tried to present that question, but I know you wanted it worded. I mean, I can read some text messages from him, but
No,
um,
just do me a favor offline, send me a phone number and I'll contact him tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna shelf that discussion and we'll talk about it at our next meeting or, okay. Okay. All right, so moving on to new business. The rules course update, I guess that is, I will have to defer to you,
Miss
Jay.
Susie is here.
And Susie, okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, Jay and Dana and I met the other day. I saw something in the writing that said the course was complete. It is not complete. We had an initial meeting to discuss the course and what it would entail. And the basic situation is over the next month, I will be creating the course and Dana and Jay will be editing some pre-existing quiz questions that I have written and adding to them. And so hopefully by the end of March, we will meet again to talk about the quiz questions. And, the course is mostly just sections of the rules. So it's more just packaging it in a way that's, that's easy to read and understand for the licensees. So that's where we are. I don't know if Jay or Dana wants to add to that.
Well, you had, Susie, you had determined that there were three groups that would have to go through this course. One would be who's it for? The new licensees, the person who's been sanctioned, or a person who just want to get a CME and review it, right? So that's the purpose, is to be attuned towards that population.
Right. So what is the course about exactly?
This is the laws and rules for podiatry in the state of Louisiana. And we have some practitioners who have been taking these courses, pertaining to their individual profession as a condition of licensure. We have not done that for podiatrists, but we are in the process of passing a rule that has in fact always existed for physicians, but will be the case for all of the groups we license, which basically states that before their first renewal, or as a condition of their first renewal, they must take a laws and rules course, because we feel, and we don't think it's unreasonable, that anybody practicing in our state should understand the rules and laws under which they are supposed to operate, especially since if you're coming from if you're new, but also if you're coming in from another state where the rules might be slightly different. So there's a rulemaking effort in process, which will, globalize what already exists for physicians, which is before your first renewal, you take a rules course, laws and rules. We will also send out it'll be in the newsletter, the availability of the course, and it's free CME. And we will send out an email blast just to podiatrists saying this course is available to you. If you've never looked at the rules or you haven't looked at them in a long time, we encourage you to refresh yourself with, your memory on what is okay and what is not in the laws and rules. And then also there's anyone, and it's very rare for podiatrists to be sanctioned by the board. I did look at those numbers. It's very rare, but anyone who, is sanctioned by the board in any profession as part of their consent order or decision will be required to take the rules course and review them as well.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay, does anybody have any question regarding the rules course? Okay, so y'all are gonna meet again, is that the plan, Susie?
Yeah, I'll write the course. They will revise and write a few more questions. And one of the things that came up is if any of you get asked certain questions where people find certain parts of the rules confusing, if we'd love to know what those are so that we include a quiz question that asks about it.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so our next new business item is committee appointments. I don't know what the state board has received, Dr. Collada.
Again, other than Dr. Reish, I am unaware we got anything. Maybe Jacinta might have something that I don't know about.
Is she present?
No,
here?
sir, that's the only one current as of right now. How many vacancies do we have with her
We have-
appointment?
we have one vacancy. Dr. Dabdu stepped down. And so Dr. Collada asked that we try to identify somebody from North Louisiana who would be appropriate, who would, participate. And certainly the Zoom meetings help somebody from that area get involved. And so we found somebody. I sent the CV to Billy and he was sending it on to the board. And I thought that may have been done already, but I'm surprised that it was done just a day after our last meeting.
Well, I haven't got anything from Billy about that. If you'd send it to me,
I sure
I'll
will.
contact him and make sure we can get this arranged for you.
You bet. I'll do that.
Okay. So. Okay, and then I guess we should welcome Dr. Reish. Thank you for joining our group.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Nice to have you.
Mhm.
Thanks.
And just so you'll know, Dr. Lee,
Yeah.
we've had no public comments since the meeting began.
Okay,
And what we'll do is I'll get Jacinta to send you a little bit of a script to make sure it goes a little smoother next time.
great.
To begin the meeting.
Okay. So any other new business anyone wants to add?
No, I think just maybe what from Susie was saying about that course is that when we get these quiz questions together, that we like to have maybe a carve out section. Maybe Susie can address that we can have our committee just make sure that the questions are appropriate before we send it to testing. Is that what you wanted to do there, Susie?
Susie dropped off.
She did. Oh,
Well, basically, we can't go over the questions in the quiz and the answers in public session. We have to do that in executive session.
that's right.
And then once y'all are done, and y'all are satisfied that the questions adequately reflect what you think the rules say, we can go ahead and make it public for everybody. In the beginning, we'll let the committee take it, restrict y'all just to taking it to make sure everybody's comfortable with it.
It's a good call there, Van.
Yeah.
All right, well, are we ready to adjourn the meeting? No other issues?
Do we have a next meeting we need to set up or?
Oh, yes, let's do that. How soon do we need to meet?
Why don't we plan on meeting? Is this day and time good?
A
Typically.
Monday?
You like Mondays at 5 o'clock? You want to do another day earlier? What's everybody's pleasure?
5 o'clock is good. A Tuesday would be great, but Mondays will work.
Yeah,
All right, well, we'll keep them on Mondays, and what I'll do is I'll have Jacinta get together with you, Ali or Olivia, and we'll pick one that works around our schedule for our board meeting, so we can get the stuff that we do on the agenda for the board meeting. It usually takes about 2 weeks to do that. So what we're talking about, how about in May? Is that good enough for everybody?
Fine with me.
May works.
All right, you're comfortable with the second Monday in May?
I have
The
to go a little later because we'll be out until after the 15th. So, but maybe the following
Yeah.
week.
Not that I matter that much, but I have another meeting on the 15th.
The
What about the
22nd?
8th?
Yeah, I can do any other Monday, basically.
Okay, what about Monday the 1st?
Can do that. Well, I probably can do that. I'm actually out of town, but I probably can get online and Zoom.
Okay, is everybody else comfortable with Monday the 1st?
Actually, no. I'm taking a little trip there, so I'll be out until I can do the 22nd of May, but I can't do the 1st.
All right, well, let's go back to April. What about 24 April? That'll be about 6 weeks from now.
Fine with me.
Sure.
Wait a
That's
minute, we may have a board meeting that day.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. We got a
April,
board-
that's our board meeting.
we
would
got
have
a board meeting that day.
move into June. Yes, sir.
All right, we'll have to move into June. I apologize. Okay, so let's go to, what about June the 5th?
Okay. Works for me.
That'll work.
All right, if everybody's comfortable with June the 5th, Jacinta will send out the invites later on this evening or first thing in the morning.
Excellent.
All right. Well, then we have your meeting set, and all you have to do is move to adjourn.
All right.
So
I
moved.
move to adjourn. You second?
I'll move to adjourn. Somebody else second.
I'll second.
Perfect.
All right. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.